From Fort Bluff Camp on the Mountain in Dayton, Tennessee, it's the 2019 Chick-Fil-A Extreme All-Star Game. Spencer Thompson and Isaiah Austin on our fourth straight call. Let's meet the two teams participating in the 2019 Chick-Fil-A Extreme All-Star Game.
Yo, Pierre, you want to come out here?
Avery Harper, senior for CCS.
Joshua Southstrand, Nashville Federal Penitentiary.
Josh Madden, Jr., CCS.
Davis Carpenter, Franklin Christian Academy.
Crutcher Ezo, Junior, RCA.
Josh Austin, Franklin Classical School.
Samuel Hubbard, Franklin Classical School.
Asa Sheets, Franklin Christian Academy.
Noah Shua, Franklin Christian Academy.
Jonah Roche, Our Lady Queen of Angels Preschool.
Caleb McLean, Senior, St. Andrew Swanee School.
Elijah Diaz, Senior for the Tennessee Heat.
Andrew Hasley, Franklin Christian Academy.
Cameron Robinson, sophomore, SAS.
Steve Adams, head football coach, Franklin Christian Academy.
Jackson Daughter, Team Daughter.
Brandon Goldsby, Tennessee Heat. Trace Aldrich, Tennessee Heat.
Gage Holman, Bowling Green Christian Academy.
Cooper Guy, Bowling Green Christian Academy.
Joel Thomason, Bowling Green Christian Academy.
Tristan Davidson, and I'm playing for Tennessee School for the Deaf.
Johnny Stapleton, CCS.
Aiden Hilber, Lighthouse Christian School.
Deja McClain, Lighthouse Christian.
Jamari Teague, Lighthouse Christian.
Kobe Sweat, Lighthouse Christian.
Bradley Hall, D. Riverside Christian Academy.
Carter Sutton, Tennessee Heat.
Coach Alice, Lighthouse Christian.
Justin Stensby, Team Stensby.
A junior from Riverside Christian Academy, number 8, Crutcher Ezo.
Coin toss on the field, the 2019 Chick-Fil-A Extreme All-Star Game. Proud to be on our 4th straight call from the Mountain Fort Bluff camp in Dayton, Tennessee. And we're looking at probably a really offensive-heavy game this year because the trend that's been around 8-man football throughout the season has been high-scoring offense. So, and with the players we have here today, it's looking like it's going to be a shootout.
Yeah, I think one team has made an emphasis on stacking offense, and the other one has emphasized on stacking defense. So it's going to be interesting to see how these teams face up.
Of course, Team Dotterer is the away team. They get to call the coin toss, and they got the first overall pick in the draft. They took Josh Austin for that, and coin toss is won by home team. And so Dotterer won the toss, elected to defer, and Team Stensby will receive, the home team receiving to start the Extreme All-Star Game this year.
Receiving the open kickoff.
Of course, for Team Dotterer, it's a alum of Christian Community School, participated in the championship team for the 2017 National Championship, MVP and champion for the MTAC Championship last year, and played KCU football before they shut down their program, looking for some other football programs to get into. But Dotterer, of course, he was set to play 2016, got injured, but if he had not gone to the NHSA tournament in 17 and 18, he'd be playing in this All-Star Game along with the rest of the greats from Christian Community in those last 2 years. And the head coach of that team, Steve Adams, the head coach of Franklin Christian the last several years. In his 3rd season, he ended 12-15 on the regular season, 3-5 this year. He was on the championship team in 2015 when Tim Pettit was the coach there. And as for Team Stensby, of course, Dustin Stensby was an alum of St. Andrew Sewanee Mountain Lions, won the 2017 MTAC Bowl, and plays for Sewanee football in the collegiate level. And coached by Brian Hollis in his first year as the head coach for Lighthouse Christian School. Started out 3-5 on the season, but he was part of that 2014 MTAC team with Lighthouse Christian School. He's been there a while. So both of these coaches and both of these players know what it feels like to be in championship scenarios and get all 4 of them getting the call to coach the All-Star Game this year. And underway in the Chick-Fil-A Extreme All-Star Game of 2019, we will have a return. This Goolsby. Goolsby weave it through, gets down to about the 34-yard line, and we'll see the offense for Coach Hollis.
Here's brought down by number 56, Josh Austin.
Now a 1st down and 10 on the 35-yard line. Team Stensby taking the first offensive move of the game. Hall in the backfield, sweep to Jamari Teague, the junior from Lighthouse Christian, gets to about the 37-yard line.
Correction number 8, Jamari Teague.
Yeah, and both teams, the coaches got really regionally as many players as they could get. So on one side you see a lot of CCS and Lighthouse up north. And on Team Dotterer, you see a lot of every Franklin player from FCA and FCS.
Of course, this is the first year that Lighthouse Christian School players are at the All-Star Game. Of course, the past players choosing for basketball. The school's not represented today as there's a timeout called on the field. Timeout by Coach Hollis already with 10:56 left to go in the first. Of course, Lighthouse Christian School, this is their first year representing at the All-Star Game. Believe the only teams we don't have represented are South Haven Christian School, and I believe we may have
Lancaster and Ezell.
Lancaster and Ezell. Of course, Ezell going down to that national championship this weekend already in Florida. They've got their game against the Freedom Cowboys that's kicking off shortly after the conclusion or close to the end of the All-Star Game, playing for a national championship after winning last week in the conference. Timeout called by Hollis, and 2nd down and 7. Hooper in the backfield, a low muff snap back to the 25. Hooper falls on it, and just a big loss there. Of course, Aiden Hooper, the sophomore quarterback, had a fantastic year, and he came from Franklin High School, was at Franklin Christian in middle school, 7th and 8th grade, went to Franklin High, and then came back, and he's been absolutely spectacular as a sophomore.
Yeah, he has, and a little bit of a muff snap there, but I'm sure he'll get back to it, and he's the only quarterback on the team roster right now, so they're going to have to rely on him.
Third down. Hooper scrambles right side, and the catch almost made by Goolsby. That's great coverage by Salstrom, the junior from Classical. And Goolsby could have had a huge gain there if Salstrom hadn't got the coverage.
Yeah, good battle on the outside there. It's going to be interesting to see those two go at it. I was definitely expecting that matchup.
So now on about a 4th down and 20, we're going to see how it goes down here. And big hill for Team Hollis to climb. Fourth down. Just punted away by Hooper and down to about the 50-yard line. Down to about the 48, and
that will be a Team Daughter.
And we'll see Team Daughter with their first offensive drive of the game. And they will be led by Samuel Hubbard, the junior from Franklin Classical. It's now on the 48-yard line. Hubbard scrambles. Right side, the catch is made. Nice block. Kalen McLean loses the football. Still loose. It goes out of bounds. So still in possession of Team Daughter, dodging a bullet there. But Kalen McLean, one of the great players for St. Andrew Swanee, his last year as an All-Star as a senior, and makes a big play there. And fortunately, goes out of bounds to keep it in possession.
Yeah, and you have to remember the majority of these guys haven't played in a few weeks, so they got to knock off a little bit of rest at the beginning of this game.
Of course, the Mountain Lions, unfortunately, missing the postseason this year, and last time they had was 2017 when they won the MTAC Bowl against Lighthouse Christian. Second and 11. Hubbard scrambles. Left side intended for Austin, incomplete.
The intended target was number 56, Josh Austin. That'll bring up a Team Daughter. Third down.
That's because his mic's still on, because there's no way it's transferring in there. It's unplugged from the amp. That's going to be his mic. Third down and 11. Hubbard scrambles, deep toss left side, intended for Austin. It's intercepted. How about Christian Sharp for the pick and heading all the way to the end zone. Touchdown for Team Stensby.
And definitely not the right read there. They were covering the flats and threw it to the outside. Oh, way too high.
Way too high, intended for Salstrom. And Christian Sharp, the sophomore as well from Lighthouse Christian. He's been with the team for a few years. We called his name several times when the Lions, of course, had Michael Bond and Ricky McDowell. He's a good contributor to them, and 6 points on the board for Team Stensby.
They're kicking a field goal.
It's going to be James's favorite thing. Hooper to hold, Hall to kick. And kick is up through the uprights, and it is good. Make that 7-0 with 7:48 left to go in the All-Star game. Team Stensby strikes first. The 2019 Chick-Fil-A Extreme All-Star Game is sponsored by Grace Point Healthcare, modern medicine the old-fashioned way. Jets Pizza of Springfield, Fort Campbell, and Clarksville. Let's get Jets. The Allergy Center of Franklin. Visit allergyfranklin.com. And by Joe Graves with I Hate Buying Insurance. Visit IHateBuyingInsurance.com. Hasley deep back to receive on this kickoff and goes all the way to the end zone for a touchback.
Right in the corner of the end zone.
Brilliant kick by Riley Hall. Now we'll see Team Dotterer go on their second offensive stride of the game.
This offense struggled the first time out. Looks like nerves maybe in play here, but they're going to need to calm down and stay composed. Maybe try to run the ball a little bit. Try to get some easy offense going downfield.
We'll see how Team Dotterer can respond. There's a sweep in the backfield. And almost a fumble there. It's an intended rush to Salstrom again and tripped up in the back.
That line got eaten up on that play. Stopped in the backfield before he even knew what hit him.
Of course, Salstrom on the year, 70 rushes for 560 yards, had 4 touchdowns, 16 as well as had 4 touchdowns rushing on the year. As another rush here, this time it's to Jonah Rorchi, the senior from Classical, and pushes his way through to get a gain of about 7 yards.
Yeah, and he's going to be the downhill back for this team, just to pick up yards in a really melodic fashion. He's not going to be the break-free speed rusher getting 70, 80-yard runs. He's going to get you 5 yards every play.
Rorchi, of course, on the season had 6 rushes for 35 yards, so he hasn't been quite in that situation to rush for the play. But
a lot of his runs got called back.
Mm-hmm.
It was really weird. It was every time we held, it was on his runs. It was very bizarre. I think people just got overexcited.
It's now about 3rd down and 5. Scramble by Hubbard. Gets the pass off. It's to Crutcher Zell, the junior from Riverside, and gets back to the line of scrimmage and facing a 4th and 5.
I'm surprised there wasn't another option headed to that side because they were double covering Crutcher Zell.
Of course, Crutcher Zell on the season, he had 91 carries for 793 yards, a very rush-heavy player for Riverside, and averaged almost a 1st down every time he carried the ball, total of 6 touchdowns. And we'll get our first penalty of the game.
Illegal substitution. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay 4th down.
Legal substitution, and that backs it up. So now moving back for the 10. McLean set to punt the ball, gets it back, and at least punts it off, but we'll give great field advantage here for Team Stensby as left side all the way, a touchdown. Team Stensby, Trace Aldrich, the junior, gets the 6.
Man, this team is just making so many mistakes. Team Dotter's defense has been strong, but the special teams mistake right after a pick 6, not how you want to start this game.
Just picks up the mistake from the long snap and then gets into the end zone there. Another 6 for Team Stensby. Though it's a late hit call.
After the touchdown, unsportsmanlike, late hit. On the defense.
Of course, the touchdown's still good, and Hall set to kick another extra point. And the kick is blocked.
There were multiple guys back there that would have blocked it. The one who got it was Avery Harper.
Hall, Harper with the block. Hall a little slow to get up. Make that now 13-0 with 5:07 left to go. The 2019 Chick-Fil-A Extreme All-Star Game is sponsored by Tennessee Heat Athletics. Visit TennesseeHeatSports.com. Dr. Sterling Foster. Visit drsterlingfoster.com for all your digestive issues and chiropractic needs. Chuck Miner Homes. Visit chuckminerhomes.com for the best home deals in Middle Tennessee. And by Symmetry Financial Group's Daniel Hoffmeister. Safety for your family. All set to kick off a 13-0 lead.
He's trying to fix it. Yep.
Booted deep and back of the end zone there, and we'll see what Team Dotter can do to respond. So with about 5:08 left to go in the first, 13-0 lead. Here's Team Dotter on their third offensive drive. Toss left side intended for looked like it was intended for Austin, but incomplete. Make that now 2nd and 10.
And another ball overthrown. Samuel's got to get this connection down with his receivers.
It's now on a 2nd and 10. High snap, but picked up. Asa Sheets got the recovery, but a huge loss. Good movement by Asa to at least grab the ball, but tackled for a huge loss there for 10 yards.
There is terrible miscommunications happening with this line right now. A muff snap was what caused the fumble, the punt return touchdown. And here, they're stuck on 3rd and 20.
Of course, Asa Sheets had a great season for his team, Franklin Christian. A very productive player in the offensive backfield. And now faces a 3rd down and 20. Hubbard tries to get the pass off incomplete, intended for Sheets, and now you're on a 4th and 20.
Pass is incomplete. The 10 targets number 18.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know about the screen pass there because they're overcommitting to those flats. We've seen them stop everything in the flats so far. They line up 2 cornerbacks on one side, one guy to go deep and one guy to go low, and that pass just wasn't open. There's got to be another counter on these plays.
And McLean muffs the snap again. He's going to take it. Left side. Can he get to the 1st down marker? Trying to stay in. Hurdles there. What a move. And a 1st down already.
That was crazy. I did not see that coming. Caleb McLean says, "You're not going to give me the ball. I'm going to take it."
I don't know why a replay keeps doing that, but just look at that. Just look at this on the end of the play. Absolutely brilliant. Now Team Daughter gets their first down of the game. Trying to get something going.
And what do you know? It was on a muffed kick.
Maybe that's the strategy they have to go with. Either that or try to switch something up.
I think when this offense gets rolling, it's going to be fun. But
there's Hubbard, right side. The catch is made to Sahlstrom. Sahlstrom on the right side, getting past the defense. Immediately met by Jamari Teague, but gets down to about the 44-yard line.
Jamari Teague.
Good find by Hubbard.
Another 1st down.
And good job by Sahlstrom to beat his defender outside. Another 1st down. This offense starting to roll a little bit. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Now, of course, with this being the 4th All-Star game, home team has a record of 2-1. The only away win coming from last year with Team Brown. The Tucker and Don duo managed to get the win against Bragg and Rollins in last year's All-Star game. Deep toss left side to Sahlstrom, incomplete. Great coverage by Team Stensby on that to prevent the reception from being made. It looks like it was Christian Sharp on the coverage.
Yeah, I like the idea. Good coverage, but it looked like Andrew Hasley had just one step on his defender, but just couldn't connect. I like the idea, though, taking a shot on 1st down. You've been getting these short gains. Air it out, give your guys a chance. There it didn't work out, but it opens up a lot more now that you run that. The quarterback and receivers now seem to be a little bit more composed and settled in. So let's see if that continues during this drive.
Of course, Coach Adams joined by his assistant coaches, Graham Harrison and Shaka Hill, trying to help things going for this All-Star team and possibly get back into this. 2nd and 10. Hubbard with motion. Hands it off. Left side rush. Jonah Rorchi trying to push through, staying on his feet. How about avoiding the tackles there? Gain of 4 yards for a 3rd and 6.
Jonah Rorchi is susceptible. He's about 5'9", but this guy's a tank. He's a nose guard. He's 2nd in the MTAC in sacks. He's really, really deceptive, and I think you just saw it there, bodying up, getting the 4-yard gain against practically undersized against any defender.
Rorchi had 10 sacks total on the season, 20 tackles for loss out of the 37 tackles he performed, and 2 fumble recoveries, which those 2 fumble recoveries came in crucial moments, especially for the Knights. 30 seconds left in the 1st.
Yeah, and we didn't count forced fumbles this year. If we did, it would be a lot more than 2.
There's motion again as Handoff again to Rorchi. He's got an opening, trying to push through. Won't get the first down.
I like
just
the
about
game plan.
3 yards short.
I like the game plan, though. Just pounding it in. And when Rorchi needs a break, you can put in Crutcher or Zell, do the same thing.
And
so
looks
we're going to the end of the quarter here.
Close to about 12 minutes closer to halftime than we were before. Heading to the end of the first quarter, it's a 13-0 score for Team Stensby over Team Dodder, the 2019 Chick-Fil-A Extreme All-Star Game. Sponsored by International Fire Protection Incorporated. Life safety is our business. Grow Live Give. Visit growlivegive.com. Star Physical Therapy. Your health, our hands. Choose Star. And by Kingdom.com, ministry technology provider. Started the second quarter of the 2019 Chick-fil-A Extreme All-Star Game. Spencer Thompson and Isaiah Austin on our fourth straight call for the fourth straight ever Extreme All-Star Game for 8-man football across Tennessee and Kentucky. This is the first year also that the Tennessee School for the Deaf are participating. Original invitation was sent to Lorenzo Curry, had family emergencies, but Tristan Davidson participating on Team Dodder as it's a rush up the middle.
The same play 3 times in a row, but with Josh coming over from receiver and cracking down at the defensive end, there's no way you lose yards there, unless Rorschach just slips.
Another 1st and 10 as Team Dodder are trying to get a score here to shave the deficit about in half.
Yeah, they came into the game trying to take shots, trying to make explosive plays. Wasn't working out, so a great adjustment by Coach, switching and going to the conservative play, and now able to move down the field. See if they take a shot here, though.
So a handoff to Sheets. Asa tries to push through. The loss of about 2 yards on the play for 2nd down.
Just simply not enough inside blocking. 3 guys are not enough to stop this defensive front. They're going to have somebody crack down on that defensive end. That's what got them the yardage. They're either going to need to do a quick screen pass, or if they run it, somebody has to be cracking down on that defensive end.
And Asa Sheets, the only stats available to us are through 2 games, but through those he had 22 carries for 99 yards. I'm sure the stats are way different than that instead of just 2 games. But
it's hard to game plan for Asa Sheets. He does everything.
And timeout called here with about 10:31 left to go in the second. Almost seemed like we just started the quarter a few seconds ago, but a timeout called by Coach Hollis to talk it over with his guys. 10:31 left to go in the second. As Hubbard is getting pressured right side to Austin. Can't make the catch, just right between his fingers.
That ball shouldn't have been thrown. Should have gone out of bounds. But the snap was what caused that problem.
Tough one there, but 3rd down and 14 for Team Dotterer.
I think this offensive line has longevity. They struggled early on, but they'll be able to last through the game. But this defensive line for Team Stensby is having a great showing with these Lighthouse guys. Lighthouse has always got the best linemen in the impact. They got D1 linemen playing, multiple of them over the past couple of years.
Yeah, Lighthouse has sent several players up to Division I football throughout the last decade. A lot of guys from Division I and
a lot of timeouts.
A lot of timeouts that have been called. There's another timeout called this time by Team Dotterer with about 9:56 left to go. Perfect time to tell you guys that the 2019 Chick-Fil-A Extreme All-Star Game, sponsored by Grace Point Healthcare, Modern Medicine the Old-Fashioned Way, Jets Pizza of Springfield, Fort Campbell, and Clarksville. Let's get Jets. The Allergy Center of Franklin. Visit allergyfranklin.com. And by Joe Graves with I Hate Buying Insurance. Visit IHateBuyingInsurance.com. And you know, this is our 4th All-Star game, and we've seen the best players from around the league participating in this, and it's been an offensive-heavy game thus far, even though it's only 13-0. But it's been a lot of defense on Team Stensby's side, and that's
Stensby's offense has probably seen about 30 seconds of offense this game, which is bizarre. But both of their scores were not on offense. They ran 3 offensive plays so far. They have 13 points. Not ideal.
They've had a little bit of that relief, but trying to get some more reps in as the muff snap. Tossed by Hubbard, left side. Austin can't make the catch, goes between his hands again.
And just right through his hands.
Unfortunately, twice that has occurred, but tough play there, but there is a flag down.
Illegal hands to the face. Offense.
Illegal hands to the face on the offense.
So penalty decline there.
That penalty will be
I'd go for it here.
They'll bring up a 4th down.
Especially in an all-star game. I mean, there's no lack of incentive to go for it.
Yeah, you're past the 50. Why not? If they get this snap right, they can make a big play.
Breeze slightly blowing on the mountain for a 4th down. Hubbard across the middle, incomplete attempt for Austin. It's another incomplete pass, and the first turnover on downs we've had in today's Extreme All-Star Game.
First down.
And now Team Stensby taking over.
And they're gonna need quarterback and center are gonna need to at halftime go over to the sideline to take a few snaps, because that just killed the drive. Not necessarily one or the other having the issue. It was just, they never played together. It's a communication issue.
First and 10 for Team Stensby. Make that, I believe, their 4th or 5th offensive play of the game as Hooper goes up the middle, brought down by Austin and Madden. It's Josh Madden from Christian Community.
Josh Madden and Josh Austin combined for 14.5 sacks this year among both of their seasons. Both just absolutely tear it up on the defensive end.
Of course, Josh Austin was the #1 overall pick for the Chick-Fil-A Extreme All-Star Game draft. Coach Adams mentioning in the draft that we took all of 2 seconds to make that pick. So now on a 2nd down and 8. Hooper, there's a muff snap there. Deep toss right side intended for Goolsby. The catch is made. How about that?
Oh, incomplete.
Almost looked like it was a catch.
Man, those two guys are competing out there.
Joshua Salstrom on the coverage, and
we got a line change.
What looked like a potential catch deep just goes incomplete.
This is going to be a battle all night. Excuse me, all afternoon. Only gone to him twice, but we got a lot of time left in this game. Those guys are going to fight all afternoon.
Almost looked like it was a reception. And about 8 minutes left to go.
Great contest on the ball by both sides. Just didn't come away with the catch. It's very cold. That factors in a lot.
It's chilly up on the mountain, about 51 degrees and the wind howling. There's a pitch to Jamari Teague on the left side, and
that ball is loose.
Loose. Looks like we got a recovery going the other way. Team Dotterer gets the recovery.
And Team Dotterer catching a break. Their defense is bailing out this offense right now. This is still a two-possession game, and their offense has made some mistakes, but it's this defense that's really holding in it. And if your team's Stensby, you're looking at the situation and thinking, wow, we ran 6 plays of offense and had 13 points. We're in a good position, especially when the offense starts clicking.
Penalty markers on the field.
And another flag down.
Delay of game, offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Back another 5 yards for
That's
Team
a
Dotterer.
weird one because it's 1st and 10, first play of the drive, and they get delay of game. That's just they gotta be smarter and quicker with this one. But I do get that they are with the coach, that they don't necessarily know the reads and what the play is going to be. So, again, another miscommunication there.
Just in the backfield.
Straight out of bounds.
Another big loss in the play for about 2nd and a quarter of the field.
That's what you're going to see a lot in the All-Star game, though, is that you don't have weeks and weeks and weeks of practice plays. You have 2 hours over 2 days to get back into shape, work on plays, and build some chemistry.
2nd down.
Of course, Samuel Hubbard, the starting quarterback for Team Dotterers, 76 for 184, had over 1,200 passing yards, and this catch is made by Austin. How about avoiding that tackle? Josh Austin staying on his feet, finally forced out of bounds at the 41-yard line.
And I think I got that.
Chased out of bounds by number 48.
We'll see what the replay tells us.
It will be a Dotterer first down.
All you got to do is get him the ball. Once you get him the ball in space, you got yourself driving.
And timeout called by the defense, but just look at that. 1 tackle, 2, and then it finally had to be forced out of bounds.
And who was that? I should have brought my glasses. Who was the tackler on that one?
Let's see if we –
Carter Sutton. That's it. Sure tackler.
Carter Sutton, one of the better defensive players for the Heat this year. We'll talk about that after the break. The 2019 Chick-Fil-A Extreme All-Star Game is sponsored by Tennessee Heat Athletics. Visit TennesseeHeatSports.com. Dr. Sterling Foster. Visit drsterlingfoster.com for all your digestive issues and chiropractic needs. Chuck Minor Homes. Visit chuckminorhomes.com for the best home deals in Middle Tennessee. And by Symmetry Financial Group's Daniel Hoffmeister. Safety for your family. And Spencer Thompson and Isaiah Austin on call from Fort Bluff Camp in Dayton, Tennessee. Up here on the mountain. It's been a fun weekend thus far for all the players and coaches, all of them staying together, practice, having 2 sessions of practice, getting to enjoy the campsite, enjoy the view from the bluff, and Play resumes as a rush up the middle.
Good to see Avery Harper getting some offensive snaps. Didn't get much in the regular season, but I think he's fully capable of going into that role.
Yeah, Avery Harper was more of a defensive player for the Colts, but as a senior, of course, getting a chance to rush the ball, and that's the beauty of the All-Star game. You get to try positions you may not have played in throughout the season.
Yeah, and I firmly believe, especially in 8-man, that if you're an incredible defensive player, you'll find a way to be able to play some offense because he's just a strong, passionate player, and if you put that at running back, you're guaranteed yards. We got almost a completely new offense in there for Team Daughter.
Making sure all the All-Stars get their reps in. Here goes Asa Sheets.
There just doesn't appear to be a hole on these three-man offensive line dive plays. I'd like to see if they try to go outside more because right now these defensive ends and guards have completely contained the inside.
Of course, Josh Austin, he's 1 for 3 today, but throughout the season, 19 receptions for 324 yards, responsible for 7 touchdowns on the year, and another one of the defensive touchdowns he got was on a fumble recovery. As Hubbard just goes to the right, being chased down by Hall, and forced out of bounds by Holman.
Good read. I like it. Now it makes a manageable 4th down, but let's see if this defense holds up. They got a good defensive line in there right now, especially Cooper Guy in there right now. You know, Bowling Green didn't have the greatest season this year, struggled, especially there at the end, but Cooper Guy was one of their constant forces that just kept punishing offensive lines.
Cooper Guy, one of many great players for the Bowling Green Christian Academy Warriors. Of course, they did make it to the postseason, but made it to the postseason and got shut out by Lancaster Christian, so good opportunity for their players to get at least one last game. As I can tell you, the 2019 Chick-Fil-A Extreme All-Star Game, sponsored by International Fire Protection Incorporated. Life safety is our business. Grow, Live, Give. Visit growlivegive.com. Star Physical Therapy. Your health, our hands. Choose Star. And by Kingdom.com, the ministry technology provider. .445 left to go in the second. Hubbard toss. Austin gets the catch, staying on his feet at the 30-yard line. Can't get the tackle. Jamari Teague missed it the last second, but touchdown for Josh Austin. And Team Dotterer is on the board for the first time today.
If they get the ball in his hands, it's an unstoppable force. The only thing they have to do is give him the ball, and they can drive down the field. We see here just a super simple slant route just coming right across the front. It was almost so short and simple that it was almost an in route. Just came across the middle. Samuel flashed, hit him. Bam, touchdown.
Now the question is, will Team Dotterer try any field goals here?
Well, Spencer, I did appear at a couple of the practices, and I would not be surprised if we saw some field goals down the road.
As Hubbard tosses it towards the end zone. There is a flag down, but looks like he did not get the two-point conversion. That was Kalen McClain trying to break the plane of the goal line, but just didn't get it there.
Man, Derek McClain, he has gotten in the backfield on every play. Hasn't gotten a sack yet.
That penalty is declined. Extra point is no good.
So make that 13-6 already. So at least Team Dotterer's offense can get on the board. They've got 4:35 until halftime, but maybe one of the big things that we've seen, especially this year, are onside kicks or squib kicks. So we might see that, even though Riley Hall kicked it deep towards the end zone the last time they kicked off. But
yeah, this offense, both offenses, I would say Stensby's offense still needs to get rolling, and a lot of that has to do with they just haven't had game time. They've only ran 6 plays. The thing with Dotter's offense is that they struggled early, but they got into a little bit of a groove that we see here. But for Dotter's offense to really hit the next level and really start clicking, they're going to have to double team Derek McClain, because he's in the backfield every single play. He's pressuring the quarterback, forcing bad throws, forcing rollouts by the quarterback. They're going to need to crack down on him or get somebody on him that can slow him down a little bit, or else this is going to be a defensive nightmare.
Yeah, Dedrick McClain, one of the huge problems for other teams whenever they're facing him on the offensive or defensive line throughout the season. As a kickoff here for Team Dotter. As we got another flag down as that kick goes out of bounds. And I believe they'll place it at the 40-yard line.
You know, I imagine they're trying to keep the ball away from Gage Holman. Hasn't touched it yet, which is a scary thought.
Yeah, Gage Holman missed the playoff game due to I believe it was an MCL sprain. So didn't get a chance to perform in the playoffs against Lancaster, but of course playing just dressed out, starting here at the All-Star game, and going to potentially pursue football at the next level, depending on where.
He has Olympic speed. That's the asset he brings to the game, and they're gonna be able to get him open here whenever they get him in on offense.
As Hooper can't keep control of the football, staying on his feet though to make something of nothing. Hooper tosses it. The catch is made by Christian Sharp, staying on the sideline, gets across midfield to the 46.
Nice play by Sharp. Not only did he get the reception, he got the extra 5 yards by the quick move.
And we have another flag down, as you'll see this replay. So roughing the passer, so I believe they'll tack that on to the end.
Wonder who that was on.
Didn't catch who called the penalty there, but just a great move by Christian Sharp, and that moves the chains and some more with roughing the passer.
And this offense, hopefully they can get into a little bit of a groove here.
Moved up to about the 31-yard line. Team Stensby marching down the field. Handoff. That's Teague to the 30-yard line for a gain of 1 yard. Yeah, Jamari Teague, another one of those names that whenever you fans get the chance to go back and listen to the broadcasts from this year, as they publish in the offseason going into January through March, April, you'll hear Jamari Teague called a lot because the junior from Lighthouse Christian was a huge team player for the Lions and made sure to put him in many situations to win. 2nd down and 9. Quick, incomplete, intended for Holman, just bounced off the shoulder pads.
Well, again, it's cold. It hit him in the chest and not in the hands. It just bounced right off the shoulder pads. Holman didn't play in that last game, so it's been a few weeks since he's played. Maybe try to hand the ball off to him, get him comfortable, and then maybe then try to throw it to him.
I think that now about 3 minutes left to go before halftime. And looks like we've got false start.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
On the defense.
5-yard penalty.
That'll be a 5-yard penalty.
3rd down.
Remaining. 3rd down.
Dead ball penalty on the defense, and another 5 yards for Team Stensby to work with.
I know they got called for the penalty, but if I'm the defense, I'm continuing to do this. I'm coming up, taking the risk of the neutral zone infraction, because with them doing this, these snaps are going all over the place. And a 3-man offensive line versus 4 defenders coming at you full speed is not an ideal situation to be in. It's like Carter Sutton might be pass blocking here.
Hooper, the high snap, scrambles, being chased down by Harper. Staying on his feet, he's got to carry it. Hooper cuts back and doesn't get the first down, but gets a gain of about a yard. So now a 4th down and 4.
That's a shame, because he was at that 4th down line, and because he cut it back, didn't have forward progress because there wasn't a hit, he lost 2 or 3 yards on that play.
He's trying to avoid the big tackle there, but costs him a potential first down, and now a 4th and 4.
Well, looks like Team Daughter is putting in a strong defensive front, but let's see how they play against this offensive line. A lot of big boys up there to defend the quarterback. No sacks in this game so far. I don't know if we'll see one.
Even though it's been a sack-heavy year for most of the guys in the All-Star game on the defensive side.
No, if I'm counting correctly, that defensive line right there with those 3 guys is combined for like 25 tackles. There's 25 sacks this year.
So now a 4th and 4.
Maybe a bubble screen is possible here. Oh, probably going to be delay game.
You can hear Coach Hollis saying,
delay of game, offense. 5-yard penalty. Still going to be 4th down.
Let's make that now about a 4th and, looks like about a 4th and 8. Move that to the 29-yard line.
We maybe see some kind of screen and slant here. They got Gage Holman on the inside.
And high snap, so it's not going to matter even with the screen. And Hooper falls on it all the way across midfield. And Team Dotterer has great field positioning to try and march down and get a score before halftime.
Both teams need to be out here. Quarterback and anybody who's going to be in at center that did not play on their team that season. Okay, they need to get in the middle of the field, say hut, clap, snap it. Just do it over and over and over again until you get back in, because both teams are having issues with this communication. And I get that, the center is the quarterback of the line. You have to be able to communicate, and, the guys not knowing each other very well and trying to get acclimated to playing with each other, it presents some issues. So let's see if they can figure it out.
So now with 136, see if Team Dotterer can get a score here. He said you may have seen some extra point attempts. If they get a touchdown,
we'll see what happens.
To tie the game.
I know that they didn't have a lot of time at practice, and they spent time at practice. Oh, they're running to the line.
And more flags fly. I think this will be
a timeout.
There's flags, I think, before the snap.
Delay of game, offense. 5-yard penalty. Still going to be 1st down.
That is a surprise to me, because they were running to the line. It looks like they just spent a little too much time in the huddle.
Star Physical Therapy halftime report coming up. We'll give our analysis of what's been not even an hour-long first half. It's been about 52 minutes thus far. Getting close to that. It's a fake handoff. It's a reversal. Oh, Josh Salstrom, deep toss to the right to Austin. What a play! And how about staying on his feet to about the 30-yard line?
We might get a hold over
down
here.
We'll see if we can get the call there, but incredible. Didn't mean to switch it there, but incredible.
Offense.
And they do move
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. It's going to be replay, 1st down.
I think you guys may have had that for classical. You tried a reversal play.
Yeah,
like
we did.
That
it went a little smoother, but yeah, I honestly think Salstrom has the strongest arm here. If you need those deep passes, he can really go in. And here, no, never mind. I thought Samuel was headed out. It's like, man, do they like what they saw? I don't know. No, Samuel's had a good second quarter. Let's see if he keeps it up here. They got plenty of time to drive down the field. 1st down, but a lot to go.
So That'll be with the delay of game and the holding. That's 1st and 25, so exactly a quarter of the field. 1:24 left for Team Dodder to try and get a score here. Here's Rorchi. Gain of maybe a yard or 2 yards, 2nd down.
And once again, they're not going to be able to run against this defensive front with a 3-man line. It's just not going to work. Somebody has to crack down. Let's see what happens here, and if they're open to taking a shot. I think they have plenty of time to take a shot here. Their receivers have gotten some sort of a separation. It looks like the defense is running some nice looks, but there are holes in that defense, and they've been able to find them here in the second.
Under 60 seconds left to go in the first half.
I'm surprised we haven't seen Crutcher or Zell much on offense.
Yeah, we haven't seen as much. Probably get some more opportunities going into the second half.
Likely.
Second and long. Hubbard, toss across the middle intended for Austin and incomplete.
A little overthrown. You got 29 seconds left. It's time to take a shot. The way that Team Stensby's moving the ball, I'm not too worried if I'm Coach Dodder about field position at this point.
A little bit off topic, but does it seem odd to you we haven't seen the prank yet, or whatever the prank is supposed to be for the All-Star game?
I know what it is.
Is it odd that you're not seeing it at this point?
Yes.
Okay. And rush left side by Hubbard. Hubbard gets a collision there. Clean collision there with Christian Sharp. Looks like Sharp is a little bit shucking up on that play. And timeout being called by Coach Adams, and about 6 seconds left. About 6 seconds left. They may add some time here.
You know, if I'm coaching here, I'm doing what's worked. I'm sending Josh on a deep corner, and I'm sending Davis Carpenter on a go. Both guys can get great separation, and it gives you the best shot to air it out and get a score.
And they do add 10 seconds to the clock, so 16 seconds left before halftime. Of course, we got the Star Physical Therapy halftime report coming up. We'll get our take and analysis on the All-Star game thus far.
We'd like to remind you once again, in the Fort Bluff Canteen, they have hamburgers, cheeseburgers, hot dogs, pizza box. They have pretzels, nacho with chili and cheese, large cinnamon rolls. They have chips, popcorn, candy, and a whole lot more. So please go by and visit the Fort Bluff Canteen, located directly behind the press box.
Making now a 4th and about 15.
See, there's Davis and Josh on that side. Dangerous, dangerous duo. And they only got one corner on that side. It's going to be interesting. Oh, pass protection
Hubbard,
here.
Deep toss left side and swatted last second. Big move there by Johnny Stapleton to prevent the catch from being made, and that's a turnover on downs.
I like the idea. Get it outside, give you guys a good chance, but they're going to get the ball in the second half anyway, and 9 seconds to go. It'll be interesting to see if they take a shot here with the struggles they've had with getting the ball to even start the play.
Nine seconds left to go in the first half. It looks like they might take a shot here.
I definitely think they're about to.
They got Goolsby and Sutton on wideouts there. They've also got Hooper scrambles. There is a flag.
They've got to call it for illegal formation here. There are 4 guys off the ball.
Yeah, they also had Jamari Teague on the outside. So that did shave 3 seconds off.
That ball, illegal participation on the defense.
Called illegal participation on the defense. Have you ever heard that penalty before?
No, I haven't, but it looked like the offense had 4 guys off the ball. They had 2 guys off ball on the right side, 1 guy off the ball on the left, and the quarterback, which the 8-man rules, you're only supposed to have 3. But what is illegal participation?
That's an interesting question.
Is it substitution? Okay.
Likely the final play of the first half. Scrambling, brought down in the backfield. Josh Madden, the junior.
There's the first sack.
And how about that to end the first half? 13-6. Josh Madden gets the first sack of the game, and Team Stensby will get the ball to start out the second half. 13-6. It's a 15-minute halftime. We will be back in about 30 seconds for the Star Physical Therapy halftime report. Welcome to the Star Physical Therapy halftime report, everybody. I'm Spencer Thompson. That's Isaiah Austin. It's now 13-6. Team Stensby is leading over Team Dotterer. And what we thought was going to be an offensive-heavy game, it's somewhat been that way, but defense has been the story. Even though there's only been 1 sack, it's just been great defensive maneuvers by Team Stensby to keep them at the score.
Yeah, and obviously Team Dotterer has had more big plays on offense, but Team Stensby has made even more big plays on defense. So there was a point in this game where Team Stensby, had 13 points on 3 offensive plays, and that's just not going to cut it for Team Dotterer. But I mean, Team Dotterer getting some momentum. Team Stensby still staying strong on defense. Team Stensby is going to need to figure out how to get the offense moving and how to stop this defensive line. If they do that, they're gonna be able to make some big plays in the second half.
It's going to be interesting going into the second half. A 13-6 score. We got about 9 minutes left. You're watching the 2019 Chick-Fil-A Extreme All-Star Game. Start of the second half of the 2019 Chick-Fil-A Extreme All-Star Game. Spencer Thompson and Isaiah Austin. 4th straight time we've had the privilege of calling this All-Star Game, and looking forward to the second half as a rush up the return up the middle for down to the 27-yard line.
That'll bring up a team Gunner. First down.
So you actually went down and talked to some of the guys from the All-Star Game. What's the vibe going on for the All-Stars right now going into the second half?
You know, everybody here wants to win, but at the end of the day, they want to have fun. And I was just going over to coach up my guys a little bit, give them some advice. Let's see if it translates.
We'll see what one of your boys, Hubbard, can do here. Drops back, right side pass, and an interception! How about Gage Holman? He hadn't shown up in the first half, and a pick six diving for the pylon.
Now, that wasn't my fault.
You did hype up your boys, but you may have jinxed it there.
It will be a Stinsby touchdown.
Incredible stuff from Gage Holman. Completely quiet the first half, and then shows up. And you're right about that acceleration, too.
He should have waited for the routes to split because he had Josh wide open running a post. But decided to throw it to the low route and had 2 guys there, one on top and one underneath.
And another 6 on the board for Team Stensby. Make that 19-6. Home team trying to go 3-1 thus far in 4 All-Star games. Of course, it's interesting. It shows that even though the game's not over by far, but even though you are the first pick in the overall draft and you get to call the coin toss, it doesn't equate that much because Stensby ended up choosing home, and look where it got him this far. Right side toss and incomplete. Make that a 19-6 score already. Team Stensby leading over Team Dodderer by 13 to start the second half. Already 19-6 with 2 scores from Team Stensby coming on defensive plays. And Riley Hall boots it deep. And another return. Left side for FCA. And pushes to about the 29-yard line. Hasley with the return.
Good return. This offense, some huge mistakes. They have literally given up 0 points on offense, but they're down 19-6. That's unbelievable.
So now 1st and 10 on the 30-yard line. We'll see if Team Dodderer can get it going. So far, we have not had an overtime game for the All-Star game.
It's going to be interesting to see how they start out here.
We've got Austin and Carpenter on the right. We've got Hasley on the left. Hubbard is under pressure, tries to get the toss off to Asa Sheets, but incomplete.
He just doesn't have time to get that ball off.
That'll bring up a Team Dodderer. 2nd down.
Of course, again, Samuel Hubbard, he's had over 1,200 passing yards on the season. That's resulted in 26 touchdowns, only 10 interceptions, as the catch is made by Carpenter and gets a first down maybe. Looks like they will look at it, and they'll move the chains for a first down.
Yeah, they got to get Davis more involved here. Had a great season with FCA, and he's a guy that can get open and catch the ball in traffic.
Now, of course, there were only 2 games. Again, the stats not fully in for FCA yet, but through 2 games, he had a 75-yard reception for a touchdown. Of course, he's been a big contributor for the Falcons in other ways, but based on the stats we've had, he had that 1 catch for a 75-yard touchdown. But Davis is the Carpenter genes are very good for football. As Rorschach powers through the middle up to about the 46-yard line.
He's running hard tonight. Excuse me, today. I
You're in the mindset of us doing night games.
I do it every year.
It will be a team daughter first down.
But Rorschach's
taking more carries in the entire season in this game, and he's the number. He came in number 1 back in this game. That's crazy. Love to see it though.
It's across midfield now to the 47-yard line. Yeah, I believe Rorschach was originally drafted, not as running back linebacker, but offensive defensive line.
Oh, he's got the outside.
Opportunities. Flags in the backfield. Rush on the left.
Probably going to get a hold on Josh Salstrand.
Asa Sheets with the rush, and there is a timeout for penalty announcement.
Holding. Offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
That'll be a 10-yard penalty.
Still going to be first down.
Still remaining. First down.
It looked like Josh Salstrand had the blocking job of Derek McClain. not the ideal matchup you want there.
8:35 left to go in the third, and that just moves it back. Now 1st and 20. You know, one of the interesting things that you could see on the camera here, you've got of course Team Stensby here near the press box, got their own stuff. But if you look at the camera angle, Team Daughter Jackson in about 50 degree weather? Yeah, 53 degrees right now. He's wearing no sleeves.
That doesn't surprise me one bit.
Rorschach.
That play happened very slowly.
Rorschach
seemed to be miscommunication in the backfield.
Loss of 4 yards. We got several guys up here. It's a beautiful day on the mountain. Sun beating down. It's a little bit chilly here in the press box, but not too bad. About 7:40 left to go in the third.
55, Kobe Sweat. That'll bring up a Team Daughter, second down.
And Kobe Sweat getting the tackle there, one of the other guys from Lighthouse Christian School. He's been at Lighthouse for a while, actually. Of course, is the headmaster, Brian Sweat. His son got to the All-Star game this year.
Yeah,
and Rorschach tripped up in the backfield. How about that celebration from Riley Hall?
They're going to have to run some kind of counter here because you've run the same play twice in a row and negative yards on both.
That's a great thing about the All-Star game, man, the celebrations. I'm sure they will never consider allowing high school players to do touchdown celebrations, but they might. Some people might look at this game and think otherwise. But third down and more than a quarter of the field.
And if they're smart here, they send one of the receivers through the middle. That'll be open.
Hubbard open, intended for Austin. Goolsby almost got the pick.
I mean, he was wide open, just absolutely missed the throw.
Josh Austin.
So it's now fourth down for Team Dotterer. Got a tough situation to try to get out of here, especially because only one touch. Even though there's only one touchdown scored offensively by Team Stensby, and they managed to hold their defense pretty well, it's still a dangerous offensive matchup.
Yeah, definitely. And this offensive line is just not holding up right now. It's 4th and 30 right now. He's having to throw a vertical throw as he's going to the ground. This is just not ideal, and they're going to have to figure this out and quick.
So McLean boots it away. Back to receive is Holman. Muffs the snap. Gets the football back and rolled down.
That ball was loose for a minute there.
Imagine if Goolsby had kept control of the ball. See what he could do on punt returns.
Been given a Titans hat in the press box. So if you have lost your Titans hat,
but of course,
it's a gray Titans hat. If you have lost,
I mean, Gage Holman, according to the James Shannon Index, second best player in the league. I mean, he's been fantastic for Bowling Green throughout the year, and of course, this is his last year for his high school career, and likely going to go to the next level depending on what pathway he takes. But like you mentioned earlier, he brings speed to the table, and we saw that on that interception return.
Yeah, and he runs a very low 40-yard dash.
Here's a tough pass across the middle. The catch is made by Sharp. It's brought down at the 40-yard line.
He threw a dart.
Looks like Crutcher got some action on there. Got a defensive play, but big dart by Hooper to his teammate and down to the 40-yard line.
Again, they had a linebacker spying there, and the corner was over top, and kind of just thread the needle, and it was a perfect throw.
And, there was talk, of course, Coach Hollis, coach for Team Stensby, they're marching down the field here. That's mostly what the Lighthouse offense has been able to do throughout the year. They're able to march down the field and put themselves in great positions as Carter Sutton gets stuffed by the defensive line, but it's ruled down by contact.
I don't know about that.
Close.
I don't know about that one. They're blowing the whistle after that ball was loose.
It's close there, but of course, without having instant replay, you have to go with your gut reaction. But back to the line of scrimmage on second down. But, with Coach Hollis's strategy of just getting down the field quick, it's the question of what if we had seen the Lions in the postseason?
I think it would have been very competitive.
Maybe could have seen. Maybe could have seen them give. Of course, maybe we might have seen them give more of a fight to Lancaster than Bowling Green did, but of course Bowling Green out 3 of their starters, so it was a tough situation for them. There's a reversal. Gage Holman, he's going to turn on the Jets. How about Gage Holman spinning out, gets the first down and a little bit more, forced out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
And if he would have had that initial tackle, that would have been short of the first, but Gage Holman, again, showing his speed, breaking the tackle and getting the first. He was an early pick for them. They need to be using him more. Big plays happen when he gets the ball.
Especially with that, of course, he had extra rest because of that MCL sprain, couldn't participate in that playoff game against Lancaster. But on a 1st and 10, gets Team Stensby an extended drive, now just outside of the red zone on the 25. Hooper scrambles. He's being chased down by Harper, looking for the connection. He's going to rush it here. Gets out of bounds. He is inside the red zone at about the 18-yard line, about 2 yards short for a 2nd and 2.
Yeah, good scramble on the play. Hooper, he's quick to the outside.
And we've seen Aiden Hooper and his skills throughout the season with the several games we've done for Lighthouse, and that of course begs the question of how much better is he going to be going into his junior year?
Well, I think it'll all have to do with the work he puts in this offseason. Yeah.
Hooper, shovel over. It's Jamari Teague. Gets brought down by Harper.
I like that option play a lot. Just get the yards they need to get that first.
And Avery Harper on the tackle there. Throughout the season, he had 122 tackles total, 30 of them solo. And he's also had 3 fumble recoveries. Avery Harper, in his final year with the Colts, of course, got to play for an MTAC championship, got to 2nd place, and to be part of that dynasty program that is the Christian Community School Colts. Looks really good on a resume to college recruits.
Yeah, definitely.
About 2:16 About 2 minutes left to go in the third. Hooper, toss across the middle, and incomplete. Galen McLean on the coverage for Holman.
Surprised no interference on there. Linebacker had to come over and guard Gage Holman, which is not the ideal situation, but able to stop him there.
Team Stensby trying to get another score in here to potentially seal out this game. Of course, there's another just under 14 minutes left in game time, but another score here could probably wrap it up. Hooper scrambles. He's brought down by Austin in the backfield. Make that sack number 2 on the game. Make that sack number 8 on the year for Josh Austin.
And great pursuit by the whole defensive line. These defensive lines have dominated this game, and Team Daughter knows that they need to get a stop here if they're going to have a chance at this one, and the defense coming up.
It's a 3rd down and 20. Hooper's got Sutton to his right. Got Goolsby and Sharp on the right side. Hooper across the middle. Goolsby somehow makes the catch in coverage. Just short of the original first down marker, but there is a flag in the backfield. Looks like it's going to be on the offense.
Holding. Offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Still going to be 3rd down.
Still remaining. 3rd down.
They still call that 3rd down. Better choice there to force the penalty than have it 4th down and short inside the red zone. It's now on the 40-yard line.
They got about 35 yards to go here. Same situation as the other team.
Under 60 seconds left in the third. And it's a long 3rd down for Team Stensby to overcome. Hooper, deep toss right side, intended for Holman, incomplete.
Pass is incomplete. It's in the target was number 37, Gage Holman.
Tried to make the diving catch and incomplete. It's now a 4th down and long.
Yeah, and I would not be surprised if we saw a punt here, just to boot him back as far as possible, because they're in big play big play territory here where they can take one shot and get it in.
27 seconds left to go in the third as Stensby leads 19-6 over Dotterer. Of course, the battle of the coaches between usually ends up being North versus South from the MTAC coaches. That tradition being kept here between Hollis from the North, Lighthouse, and Adams from the South with Franklin Christian. Hooper, deep toss right side on 4th down. Goolsby almost makes the catch. Great coverage by Salstron, and looked like Hubbard got, that was Asa Sheets also on the coverage to break up that play.
And Goolsby and Salstron have just been going at it today.
Keep saying tonight. We might as well just cut off the sun and say it's nighttime. 19 seconds left of the third, but it's been a tough matchup between the two. So now we'll see what the Dotterer offense can cook up here as Adams took over the role of offensive coordinator with Franklin Christian back in 2018, when his offensive coordinator, Ben Pugh, went on to the eventual MTAC championship team, CCS, and led the middle school boys to their first middle school championship, school history. Deep toss across the middle. The catch is made. How about Joshua Salstron? The connection between him and Hubbard. He's got one guy to beat. Salstron, touchdown.
Passes complete to number 2.
The FCS connection.
It will be a Dotterer. Touchdown.
What a beautiful throw. just beat his man. This offensive line killing it.
He was on the coverage there by Christian Sharp. Just managed to get the stiff arm to get in for the touchdown.
Simple route, just right through the middle. They've been running a cover 2 style look where the inside has been open, the outside has been covered. Both of those interceptions were to the outside. Now the coach has adjusted. He's throwing it to the inside, and it's paying dividends like we saw right there.
3 seconds left on the clock for the third. It's a 7-point game. Trying to make it 5, so it's just a touchdown for the lead. And the catch
he's
is made.
feeling himself.
Is good.
Hubbard's playing his butt off right now.
Davis Carpenter with the catch, and 19-14 the score at almost the end of the third. It's a lead for Team Stensby by 5. Three seconds left to go in the third. It's a 19-14 game. Stensby leading over Dodder in the 2019 Chick-Fil-A Extreme All-Star Game. It's been great temperatures all day. It's been cold throughout the majority of the week, but perfect 53 degrees here as Goolsby takes a slight return, and that'll end the third quarter officially. And 12 minutes left to play. Dodder is down by 5. Stensby starts off when we come back in just a moment.
Team Stensby, 19.
Twelve minutes left to go in the 2019 Chick-fil-A Extreme All-Star Game. And
good find.
Great catch across the middle and reception made by Johnny Stapleton.
See, this season for CCS, Stapleton looked like he had glue on his hands and would catch every ball that came to him, and Brooks Pugh was the possession receiver.
Yes.
So they fed off each other really well.
Exactly. Stapleton, 28 receptions for 415 yards on the season. He averaged, basically any time he caught the ball, he got a first down and a half, and totaled that out to 11 touchdowns. Johnny Stapleton definitely earned his way to the All-Star game. It's Hooper scrambles, being chased down by Austin. Going to the right side. Finally gets out of bounds. A gain of about 2-3 yards. Not quite over midfield yet.
And they're going quick here. Hooper's running. Trying to get the call, because they've been called for a few delay games so far, just trying to get the offense rolling.
that and trying to get another score just to make it a 2-possession game. It's 11:03. Second and 6. And flags fly.
We going to see a delay game? Timeout.
Timeout called by Team Dotterer. And another timeout here with 11:03 left to go in the fourth. .11:03 left to go in the fourth. Hooper, quick toss to Sharp, incomplete.
Oh, he almost picked that. That would have been incredible.
That would have been great by Hasley to get that interception.
And Hasley, may be dominantly a soccer player, and he may have, come over from West and done the co-op with FCA and found a role throughout the season. But, man, that kid is scrappy. He's all over the field, and no matter what, he's making a name for himself.
Yeah, Hasley's torn it up. Of course, we only have stats on Hasley for one game reported, but in one game he had 2 receptions for 89 yards, and he's a contributor on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball, as most of these athletes are in 8-man football. And high snap. Hooper falls on it. Make that 4th down and long.
This is probably going to be a punting situation right here.
Looks like they're bringing out their long snapper, Dedrick McLean.
4th down.
That's the question you have for Team Stensby here because, you're not at midfield. You're down by 5. Do you try and just go for it here and take a huge risk?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You need to punt this one because one more score puts you in the losing column. And if you punt it, you're expecting that you trust your defense enough that has given you all of their points on. I'm being so confusing right now. Your defense has given you every point that you have on the scoreboard right now.
Yep.
So trust your defense. Don't worry about airing it out. And it looks like they are going to go for it. Probably just because it's an all-star game. Another muff snap.
And Hooper scrambles and brought down at about the 31-yard line. It was a question of if he was going to try and punt it away or not, but
I saw another sack by Josh Austin. Is that 3?
I believe that's the 3rd sack of the day. That's sack number 9 for Josh. It's moments like this you have to be a proud brother in the broadcast booth.
Definitely. I hope he plays in college.
Hope he does. Yeah, any early word about what colleges are looking at him?
We'll keep that under wraps.
All right.
If you want to know, you ask him.
Oh,
he'll tell you.
Hey, just as long as we get some pictures from whatever signing day he has, if he does, as long as we get pictures of that, that'll be great.
Definitely. I think he's got quite a few options here.
Good.
So we'll see what happens.
Good. That's thanks to NUSA for making those dope highlight videos. Special shout out to making all those player introductions as Austin gets the catch, cuts, staying on his feet, tripped up, and gets down to about the 22-yard line.
Yeah, and that's the strategy with Josh. Trip him to stop him. You're trying to body him up, it's not really going to work. You got to trip him. That's how big boys tumble.
Team Daughter trying to get something going here.
They got 8 minutes left. It's been a quick All-Star game.
Probably one of the fastest ones we've had. It's been started at noon, so it's been an hour and 45 minutes thus far. And there's a rush up the middle by Asa Sheets.
Oh, that's a tough run.
Gets it back to the inside the red zone at the 19-yard line for a gain of 2 yards.
See a flag fly.
It's in the backfield. Would get this one on Team Daughter.
Oh, unsportsmanlike offense. Going 15 yards.
We have seen way too many unsportsmanlike conducts.
We've seen more penalties. I think this is the record for most penalties in an All-Star game, even though this is only the fourth one.
I gotta find out what's going on down there. There's no way that these guys are talking trash after this week. But then again, they probably are.
Yeah, who knows? Again, is the prank coming? So move that back 15 yards for about a second down and probably about a second down and 25. Hubbard scrambles. He's got pressure. Being chased down. Brought down from behind by several players of the Tennessee Heat.
And that's not an ideal situation to be in. Looked like the play developed a little late and forced him out of the pocket. Lucky to get yards on that one.
So is the prank coming for this game?
I don't think there's a prank, honestly, because the prank I knew about has not occurred.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. I guess the tradition does not uphold for the All-Star game.
The prank is that there is no prank and that you're waiting for it the whole time.
Probably, I'm sure.
All right, Team Daughter is going to need some magic right here. They need great pass protection.
About 6:20 left to go in the game. Daughter on what might be their last offensive chance. How about that catch from Josh Austin? Gets 2 yards past the original first down marker. Not enough for a first down, but how about that reception by Austin?
They called that an interception.
Ooh. Let's get the replay on that.
That's crazy.
Let's see what we got on this one.
The result of the play will be a Stinsby first down.
It's close. It's blocked there. Yeah, it's blocked there by Trace Aldridge. You can't really see it from this angle. But it looked like initially that Austin got the catch.
I do not see the interception there. I think that was wrestled away on the ground. I mean, obviously I have a little bit of bias, but I don't understand how that's an interception.
It's tough to tell from this angle. I mean, it
seemed like both hands were around the ball and the ball got stripped out while they were on the ground. You see, that was like he was down and then all of a sudden pointing the other way. Don't get it.
Where's our rules analyst when you need him?
Well, I mean, the refs obviously have a better view than we do.
Exactly.
So
now first down on the 20-yard line. It's Team Stensby trying to run down the clock. That's a pass over to Stapleton. And the question is, how many timeouts does Team Daughter have left to try and conserve time? I mean, they've got a decent amount before any of it goes, but the question is, how many timeouts do they have left, and when do you start using them?
Well, as long as they get a stop here and don't allow a first down, you're not really in trouble with timeouts. But if you allow a first down here, then you start to wonder when do you use them. And I think that's why you're on defense. But at the same time, their offense, they're not prepared for a 2-minute offense because they've only practiced together for 48 hours.
And timeout called by Team Stensby. I think that about 4:57 left, and the All-Star game winding down. Will Team Daughter make a comeback, or will Team Stensby see it through? And 4:51 left to go. Hooper scrambling. Finally brought down by that defense.
He's at the goal line.
Sack number 4 on the game, and all 4 of those sacks have come from Team Dotterer.
Jonah Rorchi on the play.
Huge tackle for loss.
This defensive line with Rorchi, Austin, and Madden is unbelievable.
Bring up a team, Stinsby. 3rd down.
So now a 3rd down and probably 25.
As I may be seeing a flower in destruction, but the quarterback, Aiden Hooper, not throwing that ball and just taking the sack was actually very mature in that instance, and not a lot of quarterbacks would do that.
It's a handoff up the middle. There goes Trace Aldred of the Heat. It's a little bit of rush. Excuse me, not Aldred. That was Carter Sutton. And got a decent amount of yardage back, so that'll set up a punt for Team Stensby and at least give more yardage for Team Dotterer to try and push down the field with.
Yeah, and they identified a one-on-one situation that they could have going downfield where the linebacker, he just made a miss. And yeah, we're going to see a punt formation here. Let's see if the snap is good on this one.
If it's a bad snap, really great break for Team Dotterer. And
good snap.
Decent punt.
Wow, that had a lot of airtime.
And it's off of Goolsby and picked up by Asa Sheets, cutting to the left. Stapleton, the first contact, and across midfield at the 41-yard line. We'll see how Team Dotterer responds on this offensive drive, this is going to be their last offensive drive of the game. Most likely.
Yeah, Asa Sheets, what a smart play. It bounces off of him, and he sees now that he's in front of his defender, picks it up, and gets about 20 yards on the return.
So we'll see what Coach Adams can cook up. Of course, having assistance on the sideline from some of his coaching staff, Coach Timothy Harrison and Shaka Hill. All 3 of those guys have been on a championship team before and seen the ups and downs through FCA. So they've been down in this situation before.
Definitely, and I'm really excited about the future of this team. And look how much room they're giving them on the outside. And they're coming up a little bit, but giving them some space.
First down, handoff to Sheets. Pushes through. Gain of about a yard on the play, 2nd down and 9.
These defensive lines for both teams are demolishing these offensive lines. And it's just because of the firepower on that side of the ball that we were talking about. One of the heaviest defensive showings that we've seen in an all-star game. Let's see if they try to go for a play action here. Might be interesting to see a play action rollout and hit a big body receiver on a bootleg.
2nd and 9.
And also, this play is going to have to go off fast, especially with the 3-man line they got going. Hasn't been the recipe for success so far.
Deep toss across the middle intended for Austin. He makes the catch. Austin to the end zone. Touchdown.
To number 56, Josh Austin. The result in the play, it will be a Team Dotterer touchdown.
He caught that ball one-handed. I hope I got it.
He had to get it one-handed and pull it into his chest, but what a big play for Team Dotterer, their first lead of the game.
Perfect. Yeah, they got the lead. I expect them to go for 2 here. Definitely not seeing a field goal here because they have an opportunity to. Wait a minute. The other team doesn't even kick field goals. They can do what they want.
Actually, they do. Riley's kicks field.
I doubt they're going to, though.
Right? Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they put a situation for Riverside this year where Riley Hall attempted an actual field goal. I think it was all PATs. And across the middle, the catch is good.
Oh, goodness. Can we see a replay on that? I don't think that was meant for him.
I think it was one of those unintentional things, but now 22-19, so we'd have to see a field goal to tie it up. But
curious to see how this went down here.
Yeah, I couldn't see it from the angle up here. And there's right side.
No, it was intended for him. He didn't even move. He just went and caught the ball.
2:10 left to go in the 2019 Chick-Fil-A Extreme All-Star Game, and Team Dotterer leads by 3. .210 left to go. Team Dotterer has their first lead of the game. We'll see how Team Stensby can respond. Maybe they put Riley Hall in a situation to attempt a field goal as Sharp picks it up at about the 35. Sharp weaving through. McLean forces him down at about the 38-yard line, and we'll see the Stensby offense get to work.
And it's 2-minute drill time. Stensby, offense has struggled. No points on offense. 19 points on defense and special teams. Unbelievable. But let's see if they can get a spark here. I expect to see them try to go to the Goolsby-Salstron matchup because Goolsby and Salstron have been fighting all day, and it might be time for Goolsby. He might be owed a catch at this point.
.202 left to go in the game. As you said, Isaiah, it's 2-minute drill time. Hooper hands it off up the middle to Jamari Teague. Jamari Teague pushing through for a first down across midfield to the 49. And Jamari Teague throughout the season just making great plays like that. He's been a fantastic weapon for Lighthouse and a fantastic weapon for the All-Stars.
So I have a question. What happens if it goes to overtime in the All-Star game?
We've never had it happen, so that's a James Shannon question there. It's probably standard NFHS overtime rules. But first things first, Riley Hall will have to kick a field goal or get put in that situation as Hooper tries to cut back in, staying on his feet, finally brought down by Josh Madden. Gets it to the 45-yard line for second down.
And that play only gains 3 yards, and they've lost 30 seconds and counting on before and after that play. It's not ideal. 1 minute to go on the 45-yard line. Not sure about the timeouts, but we're yet to see.
So now on a 2nd down and 6. Hooper's got options. Scrambles, being chased down, and staying on his feet, finally brought down by several players.
Rorchi, another sack.
Rorchi credited for the sack.
Involved in his 4th sack of the night.
Rorchi credited with the sack. That was initial contact by Josh Madden in the backfield. And timeout called by Team Stensby with 40 seconds left. But what a big defensive play. And 41 seconds. I wonder what Riley Hall's range is field goal-wise.
I don't know, because Riley Hall is not a traditional kicker. He does what you need to do for 8-man, but as far as kicking field goals, I'm not sure.
This is actually a good question, which we have James Shannon in the booth. Good question for you. What are the overtime rules for the 2019 Chick-Fil-A Extreme All-Star Game? NFHS? Yep, same standard. .41 seconds left in this All-Star game. Stensby down by 3. Hooper goes up the middle, tries to stay on his feet.
Another
Austin
sack.
Brings him down. Sack number 10 on the year for Austin. Clock's winding down. I believe Stensby's out of timeouts. They got to rush. They got to get it.
They call the FCS defensive line pick your poison, and they got 6 sacks together tonight.
20 seconds. That shaved off 10. I don't think they've prepared any audibles in the practices. as Hooper scrambles. He's got Austin pressuring him again. He's got to get a quick toss. Gets it over to Teague. Teague trying to get out of bounds, and clock stopped at 7.
The result of the play will be a Team Stensby first down.
7 seconds is the last play of the All-Star game and the last play for a lot of players' entire careers. I know that defensive line is hungry. Hungry to spoil it.
A 1st and 10. Of course, Riley's on Riley. They're not going to go for the field goal from the 38. It looks like they're going to take a shot for the end zone here. Seven seconds. We'll see if Team Stensby can get the W, or will Team Dotter's defense, after being down the entire game, see if Team Away can get their second victory. Scramble by Hooper. Final seconds winding down. Clock has expired. Hooper, deep toss across the middle. Almost caught by Goolsby. It's incomplete. And Team Dotterer has taken the W. The away record, it's now 2-2. Congratulations to all of the All-Stars on a fantastic season, fantastic game. That'll wrap it up here for the 2019 Chick-Fil-A Extreme All-Star Game. 22-19 the final score. Team Dotterer gets it done against Team Stensby. Thanks again for tuning in, everybody. Extreme Radio is coming up on Sunday.
Thanks for coming out to Fort Bluff here in Dayton, Tennessee.